Did you know that the average adult makes around 33,000 to 35,000 decisions per day? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. But are all these decisions made logically? I mean, let's take a look at our buddy, right room student 911. Okay, let's see what he does. He enters a taxi. He says hi to the driver. Okay, so far I guess this guy's pretty smart. Wait, what's he doing there? He's unzipping his pants? Enter Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, the master strategist. His calm demeanor, analytical prowess, and strategic thinking make him the epitome of logical decision making. So, how can we learn from him and make the same logical decision like he does? What makes Ayanokoji so fierce in decision making is his empty canvas of emotions. Look, there's only two things that really affect your decision making: logic and emotions. Since Ayanokoji views the world in a way where he views everything in a bird's eye view, he never gets greedy, mad, sad, horny, whatever. He is always going to make the correct decision since there is nothing stopping him from doing so. For example, let's say you were gambling, playing blackjack. The reason why people always end up losing their money is due to the casino manipulating their emotions. Let's say the man starts with a $5 hand. He wins and he gets $10. He wins again and he gets $15. The man gambling just made $10 from what? Just clicking a few buttons. This causes the human brain to go nuts with dopamine and elevates their greed to another level, which in turn ends up with them losing it all. While on the other hand, someone like Ayanokoji, this would never happen to him because he has none of these. But how? How is he able to use his brain so effectively? So number one, understand the three brain types. Ayanokoji's decisions are driven by his neocortex, the logical brain. To emulate his approach, familiarize yourself with the reptilian brain and the limbic brain. So basically, the reptilian brain is your survival instincts and the limbic brain is your emotions. Recognize when these parts of your brain are taking over and learn to override them with logic. Majority of the population uses the neocortex a mere 5% of the time, so that's your logical brain. While the limbic brain dominates with 40% of the usage. So that means nearly half of your decisions are driven by emotion. But e.g., how do I use the specific side of the brain? Let's not be idiots. The side of your brains are not like a regular body part. You can't just choose to use them. But in fact, they're already being used every second. The first step to using your neocortex more often is to become aware of when you're operating from this part of your brain versus the limbic brain. Notice the moments when you're making decisions based on logic versus emotions. This self-awareness is crucial for consciously sifting your decision-making process. For example, if you're gambling and you are up $200 from zero, continuing your attack is your option because if you want to lose it all, it's up to you if you want to hit that jackpot. But let's be honest, you're mostly operating based on greed and not thinking rationally. You had $0 to begin with and now you have 200. So, for the next part, I'm going to dive into what makes Ayanokoji extremely logical and aloof at the same time. Here's the thing, you can watch as many videos of how to be logical as you want, but the fact is that when you're in class and the guy sitting beside you gets his head blown off, you aren't going to be thinking logically, you're going to be shitting your pants. But for some reason, if we imagine Ayanokoji in that situation, he wouldn't even be fazed. But why is that? It's the difference between the pain/stress exposure. So, the reason why Ayanokoji is never fazed, not when it's a 1v4, not when the whole class try to get him expelled, basically nothing's phasing this guy, is because he actually did shit which makes him 1, confident, and 2, it seems like fodder. And whether it's the intelligence realm or the physical realm, Ayanokoji's never phased because he is the best, he is competent. And when you're the best, you're not prey, you are the hunter. Here's the problem. You won't be able to make logical decisions, especially when it matters like Ayanokoji, because you need to be formidable in all areas of your life. Since he's formidable in all areas of life, it allows him the assurance of staying cool and collected. and then he allows him to make a logical decision because he is the hunter. He's never the prey. He's never phased, and since he's never phased, he can make that decision. So next, in order to think logically, you need your brain to do some push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. Just like Ayanokoji, you can train your brain to think logically, but if you haven't already, but my 8-week free cognitive ability program, which is in the description, is basically a workout program for your brain through this website, Human Benchmark, but no one has completed it yet. When it could legit make you think logically, increase your intuition, etc., etc. So just hop on that, and trust me, I'll bet you all my money, plus it's free, you're going to be able to think more logically after. Next, lastly, your last step in making logical decisions are deductions. Making deductions is information, more specifically, facts. You must first be aware of all facts revolving on what or who you're working on. Because let's be honest, what is logic without information? Logic trumps everything. So, to begin, to master deductions, you want to first use past experiences and present observation, and you can usually connect the dots. There's nothing new under the sun. It has all been done before. So with that said, if every action has been done before, the more you understand human nature, and the more experience and observe these things, the more the pattern forms, and making it easier to come to a conclusion. The second step to making deductions is forcing things you can analyze to come to light. You need to force information out of others if you want things to work with, but you also need to know how to work with such information. The key? Mastering the art of reading people. How? Let me tell you. Firstly, let them speak. Sit back and let the other person volunteer information rather than pulling it out of them. But don't make it weird like a creep. Just focus on the words and tone rather than body language. Listen for stories that seem unusually long or detailed. Liars use more words and they may even talk more quickly. Watch primarily for inconsistencies, details of the stories that don't add up, emotional expressions that don't fit the story, or abrupt shifts in the way the story is told. Always interpret your conversations in the light of what you already know, the context and other details you observed in the interactions with this person. It's all about looking at patterns and then trying to determine if any disruptions in that pattern points to something interesting. Your unconscious mind may have picked up some data your conscious mind hasn't become aware of. Don't make decisions on intuition alone, but don't dismiss it too quickly either. Making deductions is a key to making logical decisions. And I'll end the video here for today. If you want to be in the real life white room / classroom elite, I have an online server of classes A to D and special exams every week in a white room atmosphere, and also a 1-year white room training guide with over 400 slides. It's like bigger than the majority of books. If you're interested, check the description to join. I'm not going to give you more info because it's on the website. But yeah, peace on the street. There's also a test to join. See you guys.